All right, in this video, we are going to learn about church mapping. And this helps us, see how the Lord is multiplying and growing churches, but also helps us identify areas that we need to grow in, or we need to, help the leaders of these churches grow in. And so instead of looking at the 9 different functions that we look at in Acts 2, we're going to just highlight 5 of them that will help us really focus on areas that maybe we need to grow in. So the first one is elders appointed. And let's see, we'll draw a little guy right here with a staff in his hand. Next one is giving. And we'll draw a $sign. You can use the currency symbol for the country you're living in. The next one is baptism. And we're going to use the symbol for water. Next one is DBS, 3/3. So really it's the same thing depending on what term you're using. But what we're wanting to look at is in these groups, not are they just devoting themselves to the apostles' teaching, like we talk about in Acts 2. We don't want people just reading the word. We want that. But we want people following a 3/3 process where they're actually discussing the word, they're holding each other accountable, they're applying it to their lives, they are sharing concerns with one another. They're going through this process, this 3/3 process that's reproducible, that helps raise up leaders. And then the last area we're going to look at is the Lord's Supper. And the symbol we'll use the bread and the cup. And just real quick, I'll give you an example here of what this looks like. So, we draw a circle. This represents the church, the group. And then in the circle, we put these symbols here, if the group is doing them. And at the bottom, what I want is the leader's name. And then the number of people in the group. And then, if they've appointed elders or you've appointed elders in this church, then you put the symbol inside. And if not, you put it outside. So we'll just imagine that this group has not appointed elders yet. And then giving. If they're giving, you put it inside. If not, it's outside. So we'll just say, okay, they're not giving yet. Baptism. This group is baptizing, so we're putting that inside. This group is doing a 3/3 process, so we put that inside. And then this group is taking the Lord's Supper, so again, we put it inside. So this helps us, identify, okay, right here, these are areas of growth. And here, these are areas that, we're already doing well. So we know that we need to, focus on these. We need to be teaching these groups about elders and appointing them. We need to teach them about giving and helping them grow in that. So let me show you how we can map this out. Okay, so we're going to use these symbols, what we just covered, and we are going to map out a diagram that just illustrates, shows what God is doing, how he is at work. And so what I want you to do is just put your name here in the middle. So I'll put my name. You're going to put your name, and then out from here, you're going to draw lines to churches or groups that you have started. So I'm just going to put four lines out, and then we're going to draw the circles representing these churches here. Okay, if you've started 3 churches, you just draw 3 churches, or more, you draw more. And under each of them, you're going to put the name of the leader, and then you're going to put the number of people, okay? This helps us just see, okay, who the leaders are, how many people are coming, just gets an idea of what's going on in these groups. Then outside or in the circle or outside the circle, you're going to take these 5 symbols and functions: elders appointed, giving, baptism, 3/3, and Lord's Supper. And you are going to put them inside the circles if the churches are doing them, and outside if not. So let's just say, okay, these right here, elders are not appointed, but they are baptizing, and they're really not doing 3/3. They're reading the Bible, but they're not really following the 3/3 process. They are doing communion, Lord's Supper, and they're giving. Okay? And for each group, you're gonna do that and draw the symbols so that we can see what's going on in each group. And what other symbol do I have? Water baptism. Okay, so you're gonna do that with each of them. And then I want you to use a different color so you just kind of see. So if there has been a church that's been started from people in this group, not from you, right? So not from me here, but we started this church, and then there's somebody in here that went and started a new church. Then you're going to draw a line coming out from that group, and then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to put the name and the number, and then you're going to fill in the symbols depending on what they're doing. So this group's doing the 3/3, and they're giving, and they're doing Lord's Supper, but they don't have elders appointed yet, and they are baptizing. Okay, and we're going to do that over here as well. So we're going to draw out these lines from this group. If they started one church or they started 2 churches, and under each of them, you're going to put the name, the number of people, the name, number of people, etc. And then you're going to do the symbols. So we got communion, we got baptism, we got 3/3, but then giving and elders are not yet part of this church. So after you've done that, these are all the red represents all the second generation. Okay, this is the first generation that you've started. The second generation is the red, and so now we'll use green. And from here, if there's churches that the second generation have started, maybe this one has started a couple churches. And so again, you're going to put the name, the number of people, and the symbols in each of them, whether they've, if they're doing them inside, and if not, then outside. And so let's see, here we have, what else are we missing? I think it's all of them. So, and you're going to do that, filling out the page so that every church is represented. And maybe there's one group, maybe over here, there's actually a 4th generation that's come out of this group. But so you'd have the green. You don't have to do it in different colors, but it just helps see. The green is really the 3rd generation over here, and then this blue is the 4th generation, where we're seeing, 1 generation, 2, 3, 4 that are multiplying. And with this group, I probably wouldn't even know the people in this group, because I know this church that I started, but then people here are multiplying, church to church. And I won't have a direct relationship with these people, but hopefully, the things that this group is learning is passing them on from generation to generation. So the goal would be that every church that you're working with, that's in your network, that's multiplied out from these churches, you'll be able to map and get an idea of what they're actually doing in the churches, where the areas of growth are, and this will help us begin problem solving, begin encouraging the churches, begin teaching new things maybe that we need to emphasize. So I hope this helps you in church mapping.